Hey guys, Lipinski here. I graduated from Trinity, class of 2016, also women's soccer alum, and I'm here to give you my top 10 plays for your resume and LinkedIn profiles. All right, number 10. So depending on the role, recruiters usually have a large amount of resumes to scan through each day, times that by 10 other roles they're recruiting for. This means they probably spend about 6 to 10 seconds on each resume. So keeping your resume clean, easy to read, organized will make all the difference. Definitely avoid colorful and dramatic resumes unless you're applying for a role in graphic design or something similar to that. All right, number 9. Definitely use bullet points and precise statements, both on your LinkedIn and your resume. It kind of goes back to my first statement about recruiters scanning resumes in 6 to 10 seconds. Being precise is key, and kind of just being brief enough allows us to really understand, what you've been doing in that role in a couple sentences or less. Okay, number 8, highlight leadership experiences. Definitely make sure to highlight these type of activities, whether you held an actual leadership role, like social chair at student government, or maybe something, more untraditional, like taking a program on leadership, or even being team captain of the tennis team or soccer team or whatever team at Trinity. I think that's definitely important to highlight those strengths. And then the high-level duties that were kind of, associated with that opportunity that you had at Trinity as well. All right, number 7, highlight athletics, extracurriculars, and any awards that you got during your time at Trinity. I think this one is super key, especially for the athlete part. Being a D3 school, we didn't have the scholarships that a lot of D2 and D1 athletes had, which means we wanted to play. We wanted to spend our time, going to practice, balancing out studying. And I think that's really important to highlight on your resume and your LinkedIn as well too, is showing you're passionate about something and you're going to stick to it no matter what. I think that's something special about the Trinity athletes specifically, is just kind of being able to put your mind to something and when you're not getting paid for it and you're not, you don't have to be there necessarily. So I think that's really important to highlight as a strength when you're doing interviews and stuff. One of the first things I also look for is transferable skills that relates to the job that I'm recruiting for, especially, any entry-level type roles that most grads are applying for. So for example, if you're applying for a customer service type role and you have experience, interacting with and helping customers or students or parents or whoever it may be, definitely highlight that as much as possible. Do not have poor grammar or typos on your resume or cover letter. As harsh as it sounds, they are and they can be a deal breaker. So have your family, your friends, your professor, your coach, whoever it may be, read over your resume and make sure it's edited to perfection. Definitely add your LinkedIn link on your resume. I always like to check out LinkedIn profiles to make sure things, kind of add up on the resume and the profile themselves. It's also interesting to see how you organize your page, gives me a chance to view recommendations from other employers, any other accolades that you have on there, and definitely don't forget to add a pretty picture. Definitely include your contact information on your resume, specifically email, phone number, and the city you reside in. If you're looking to relocate maybe to a different city, definitely highlight that just because that's good for us to know. And then no, we actually don't need your full address, so you can leave that off as well. People always ask me if we read cover letters, which we do. Sometimes they kind of in the same realm of resumes. We do scan them at times, but I think it's still very important to highlight and even go into more depth on some of those strengths that you have relating to the role. Definitely put in research that you did on the company itself and the role itself, and which skills are transferable to the role you're applying for. This one is probably my favorite. Feel free to connect with recruiters, on LinkedIn of the companies you want to work for. Follow the company pages that you're interested in, so you can get updates, of new jobs that are posted, maybe just company updates in general to help, feed your knowledge on the company itself and what the state of the business is. There are lots of other resources other than LinkedIn that I really like to look at as well too. One of those being Glassdoor. Each company will definitely have a Glassdoor page with reviews, salary bands, and just pictures and seeing the culture and environment of the company itself. And it's a good way to ask yourself, do I want to be at a company like this? Because while you are interviewing with the company, I think it's important that you want to work there as well too. Built in Austin is a really good one too. If you're looking in the Austin metro area specifically, there's other built-in cities as well too that you should take a look at. I also recommend Indeed. There's a ton of job postings there as well too, since they're headquartered not too far away. They have a really big presence here in Texas specifically. My last note to Trinity athletes: I don't think you realize how much your time spent playing sports at Trinity helps you excel immensely in the real world. Trinity athletes were a special breed, mostly because, like I said before, one, we didn't get the scholarship that a lot of D1 and D2 athletes did get, but we still showed up to play because we loved it and we had the passion for it. Two, we had to excel in one of the toughest schools in the West. And, we still dedicated time to our sport, which takes time management, dedication, and grit. Continue to be proactive, continue to be excited about, this new chapter in your life. Highlight those strengths that you gain from sports, things like time management, that passion as well too. I think it's okay to be assertive when you are looking for new opportunities and roles, definitely in a respectful way. I think bringing that uniqueness that Trinity gave you, especially being an athlete, is something that you should absolutely highlight and not be afraid to do. Always feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and go Tigers.